guys, welcome back to the Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing my Galaxyathon TBR. I'm sorry this video is coming up a little bit later than normal. Jeff and I have been kind of under the weather, so everything's gotten pushed back a little bit, but I'm here. I'm excited to talk to you about all the things that we're reading for Galaxyathon, which is my next readathon happening March 3rd through March 16th. Announcement will be linked up in the cards and down below in the description. Pretty self-explanatory. This is a sci-fi themed readathon, but specific to books that have something to do with space, whether they be set in space, on a spaceship, on another planet, with aliens here on Earth, with astronauts in training, with astrologists. Anything that has to do with space and the stars and the galaxy and the planets will work. This is one of my favorite readathons to do every year. You just get to immerse yourself in the theme. It's just so much fun. I have so many friends that didn't think that they would like doing this readathon and wound up totally falling in love with the books that they read. I have a firm belief that I think a lot of sci-fi is easier to read than a lot of fantasy books because you're not having to learn an entirely new world. Everything is still set in our world. It's just in the future with a little bit more advanced technology or with things from different planets and stuff like that, versus learning an entirely new world made from scratch can sometimes be a little bit more simpler to learn. So try not to let it intimidate you because it's a lot more easy to get into the genre than you think. I'll link some getting started videos like space books for beginners or my favorite space books, as well as some other recommendation videos up in the cards as well to get you kind of a jump start if you haven't created your TBR yet or if you want to hop in. So make sure to check out everything down below in the description. So I have 5 reading challenges per usual for this readathon, and we're basing a portion of my TBR off the 5 reading challenges. So we are going to start there. All right, I went a little bit rogue with this TBR. I've been trying to have at least 60% of the books I read be books that I own. I do not own a lot of these books. I think we hit it for this video, but I do not own the first 2 yet. So challenge number 1 is set on a spaceship, and for that one we're doing This Splintered Silence by Kayla Olson. I believe this is a standalone YA book, but I'm not entirely sure. We're following Lindley Hamilton. She has been the leader of the space station Leska since every first-generation crew member on board, including her mother, the commander who was killed by a deadly virus. Lindley has always assumed she'd captain the Leska one day, but she never thought that day would come so soon. She never thought it would be like this, struggling to survive every day and learning to keep the Leska running, figuring out how to communicate with Earth and making sure that they don't run out of food. When a member of the surviving second generation dies from symptoms that look just like the deadly virus, Lindley feels her world shrinking smaller. And as more people die, Lindley must face the terrifying reality that either the virus has mutated or one of their own is a killer. So this one will also work for the next reading challenge, but I chose it for set on a spaceship. Challenge number 2 is Space Mystery. For that one, I'm going with Sanctuary by Karen Licks. I talked about this one in my book haul that I did recently, and I thought that it would be a good one for the readathon. So we're being really loose with the space mystery category. Like anything that seems like they have to kind of figure something out, I'll let you count for this category, since there aren't as many like super easy to find like sci-fi mysteries. Like if it's a thriller or if they're trying to solve a problem, anything will work. So as a citizen of the Omnistellar Concepts, the most powerful corporation in the solar system, Kinsey has trained her entire life for one goal: to become elite guard on the Sanctuary, Omnistellar's space prison for superpowered teens too dangerous for Earth. As a junior guard, she's excited to prove herself to her company, and that means sacrificing anything that won't propel her forward. But then a routine drill goes sideways and Kinsey is taken hostage by riding prisoners. At first she's confident her commanding officer, who also happens to be her mother, will stop at nothing to secure her freedom, yet it soon becomes clear that her mother is more concerned with sticking to Omnistellar's protocols than she is with getting Kinsey out safely. As Kinsey forms her own plan to escape, she doesn't realize there's a more sinister threat looming, something ancient and evil that has clawed its way into the Sanctuary from the vacuum of space. Little mystery with that there, and it just sounds like a really fun time, the first in a YA trilogy. All right, challenge number 2 is Astronaut on the cover. I spent a ridiculously long amount of time trying to pick my book for this when I had one already perfect. I had set this one originally in the set in the spaceship category and deleted it from my brain, and so we moved things around. But I am doing Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. This is part of an adult duology. The movie is coming out in March, which is why I'm wanting to read this one. It has Edward in it. Our beloved Edward Cullen is in this movie, so I'm really excited to watch it. It's called Mickey 17 as a movie, which is interesting. But this is dying isn't any fun, but at least it's a living. Mickey 7 is an expendable, a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world Niflheim. Whenever there's a mission that's too dangerous or suicidal, the crew turns to Mickey. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. After 6 deaths, Mickey 7 understands the terms of his deal and why it was the only colonial position unfulfilled when he took it. On a fairly routine scouting mission, Mickey 7 goes missing and is presumed dead. By the time he returns to the colony base, surprisingly helped back by native life, Mickey 7's fate has been sealed. There's a new clone, Mickey 8, reporting for expendable duty. The idea of duplicate expendables is universally loathed, and if caught, they will likely be thrown into the recycler for protein. Mickey 7 must keep his double life a secret from the rest of the colony. So very cool. I'm not sure if he is considered a robot or if it's like an actual human that they're able to regenerate. It sounds very cool. This one will almost work for all of the categories if you want to go ahead and just count Mickey 7 as a space word, because it has aliens in it, it's got an astronaut on the cover, it's a space mystery, it's set on a spaceship, so you could kind of sweep the whole board if you want to do this one. I'm also doing Pride and Prejudice in space for the astronaut on the cover because I'm going to physically read this. I got this one on Amazon. Book Outlet had it for a while, but I don't think they do anymore. I have no idea, honestly, like if this is just actual Pride and Prejudice with space things thrown into it, which will not be my favorite, or if it's a completely reimagined book. I don't know, but it's gorgeous. It's like full color, beautiful, heavy, glossy pages. So we're gonna have a little adventure and read this one together as well, and she is a fabulous astronaut. Challenge number 4 is an alien encounter. I am so excited for this one. I'm really a little bit bummed because I wanted to reread the first one, but I'm going to be doing Space Oddity by Catherine M. Valente. This is book 2 in the space opera now duology. Originally, space opera was a standalone, and then she announced that she's doing this follow-up book. I think this is considered adult. I'm not entirely sure. I love the first book. Basically, we're on Earth, and one day these aliens show up, and they're like, hello, we're going to destroy your planet unless you send one of your fellow humans to join our galactic competition to compete and win. And if your human wins, then we won't kill your planet. And so this reluctant, washed up rock star winds up going on this adventure to space to compete in this like beauty competition, music, galactic interspecies thing. And it is just really wacky and funny and humorous, very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style. And I didn't know we were ever going to get a second book, and this was announced last year. I've never read the synopsis for this. I'm going to read anything that I don't think will be a spoiler, but it's such like a silly book that I don't think you'll have a problem. I would still definitely read the first one though. The Metagalactic Grand Prix is a part gladiatorial contest, part beauty pageant, part concert extravaganza, and part continuation of the wars of the past returns, and the fate of Earth is once again threatened. The civilizations opposed to humanity have been plotting and want to take down the upstarts. Can humanity rise again in this sequel to the beloved national best-selling space opera book? So it looks like we just have to compete again in this competition. So that's really all they're giving me. There's not much on this synopsis, but I loved the first one. It was such a fun time, so I'm really excited. All right, lastly, challenge number 5 is space word in the title, and for that one I am doing We Hunt the Stars by Jessie Mahalik. So I have been trying to read or listen to one of my special editions for every readathon so that I can actually get through them and see if I like them and I want to keep them. And this one is one of the most beautiful ones, and I think one of 2 of mine that are sci-fi. So this is the bookish box edition that a friend sent me. So pretty with the end pages. The hardcover book says, "My life is mine, but my heart is yours." And it's got blue edges. And then this is technically the reverse dust jacket, but I liked it better than the original. Okay. So, Octavia Zarola would do anything to keep her tiny, close-knit bounty hunting crew together, even if it means accepting a job from Torrin Fletcher, a ruthless former general and her bitter adversary. When Torrin offers her enough credits to not only keep her crew afloat, but also hire someone to fix her ship, Tavi knows that she can't refuse no matter how much she'd like to. We've got an enemies to lovers set in space, on spaceships, giving me a tiny bit of like Firefly energy. I believe this is YA, so it will be a non-spicy one, I'm guessing, and it's part of a trilogy, and just really excited to try it out. All right, those are all of the reading challenges. We do not have physical challenges. So I will be doing hopefully a lot of fun space themed activities and movies and different things like that I'll be vlogging. There will be one vlog per week. I also have Galaxyathon set up on Storygraph, which is a new app that I'm using this year. This is a really fun way to join the reading challenge. It's just a fun way to keep track of the books you're reading. You can add the specific books to the challenges and it will mark them off as you go and tell you that the prompts are complete, which is really cool. I've been really enjoying it over there. It's fun to see how many people are joining. The link is down below. You cannot search for it. You have to go through the link. Hopefully that will change in the future, but if you're ever looking for my Storygraph challenges, you will have to check the announcement videos for the readathons because you have to go through the link. You can't search for them until they begin. So make sure you always check the descriptions of my videos. I've got a Galaxyathon Spotify playlist. We have graphics per usual. We'll be doing photo challenges and lots of fun stuff. So make sure you're following along on Instagram as well. Over there at The Bright Side Girl, I'll be sharing everybody's posts in my stories every day and what I'm reading and just lots of fun things. We have like the best time for Galaxyathon. It is a full space galaxy themed party. This is a really good one to get your kids to join in on as well. You can do some space themed activities or get some kids space books as well. It's just a really, really good one. So let me know if you're excited. Let me know if you plan on reading the same books as me, or let me know some of the books that are your TBR. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bright Side.